Hi guys, welcome to the Emergency Services Committee meeting for October 20th at 6 p.m. Just like to call the meeting to order. And so just move by. Second by that this meeting be open at 6:01 p.m. All in favor? Sure. Great. And then the adoption of the agenda, we just need a mover and seconder. So move by. And second by. That the agenda for the Emergency Services Committee meeting for October 20th, 2025 be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? The adoption of the previous minutes. Need a mover and a seconder. Move by.
I'll move it.
Alan. Second by. Donna. That the minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held September 15th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Any presentations or delegations? And then down to 6 for staff reports. So 6A, report from the fire chief regarding recent calls, training and community involvement. Fire chief was unable to attend tonight. We have a deputy fire chief tonight.
Okay, so I have in front of me a report prepared by Fire Chief Sean McGee. Highlights the activities of the Bonfield Volunteer Fire Department from September 12, 2025 to October 16, 2025. Currently, we sit at 18 operational volunteers. During this reporting period, we responded to 8 calls for service, 7 of which were medicals and 1 fire alarm activation. To date, we've responded to 75, we've had 75 calls for service. Special training going on right now. We are actively doing sign-offs for NFPA certification, firefighter 1 and 2. Our members are going to be writing and doing the practicals in November with these fairs. And we have Auto X training coming up. We have a couple of vehicles that we're going to do a workshop on and learn some stuff. Updates. Fire Prevention Week was October 5th to the 11th. We did some door-to-door inspections. This year's focus was on charging lithium-ion batteries safely. Bonfield Fire Department received a letter of commendation for exceptional courage, teamwork, and professionalism during severe weather response for the Samuel de Champlain incident. We have upcoming emergency first responder certification, 2 weekends, the last weekend in November and the first weekend in December. And the fire chief has started the budget for 2026. And fire chief and myself have started the asset management for the fire department. Focuses on inventory and identifying critical items that need replacing in the next 12 to 36 months. Fire prevention is always ongoing during calls, and then for Fire Prevention Week, we did do some door-to-door inspections. Community involvement, the Bonfield Firefighters Lady Auxiliary did the pancake breakfast, which was a huge success. Proceeds raised were $1,227.50, which will be used to buy some equipment.
Awesome. Thanks for that. So
Sorry, so the first responder certification at the end, that's for everyone. Is that
That's
the right one?
for, I think we have it booked for 15 members, so if we can fill it with our own, we will.
Yeah.
And if not, then we'll ask their neighbors if they want to join in.
Awesome.
All right, guys, down to 7 items for committee discussion. So 7A, receive update on the CEPG project provided by the CEMC.
Okay, so this is a series of ongoing status updates of our communications project and voice logging and recording. We're starting to see tangible things roll out here. We're going to replace this conference table with a wired power USB table to make it more suitable for emergencies, and it also serves as a better conference table for the municipality as well. Across the front here will be one table. There'll be a radio there, a computer there, and this equipment will be shifted over slightly. So that'll be all our consoles and equipment that we use for our technology in it. The we ordered 2 computers. One will be here and it's an all-in-one computer, so it'll just be a keyboard, a mouse and a monitor, so it saves some space. There'll be an identical unit at the fire hall. That'll allow the fire department to upgrade their computer system. It'll be new and improved and faster. And yeah, that's the last item we have, the last and biggest item we have is our order with Spectrum, who are going to provide all the technology, the software and the hardware equipment for this. And we're hoping they'll be here before the end of the month. That was their commitment to us, and once the equipment is here, they will install it. So and that should be a day's install. It's not, you know, we need 2 antennas, we need a couple of computers set up, which we can do. We can probably arrange for the wiring through Brian to set up our Ethernet and so on. So it's well in hand. We anticipate spend all our money. The grant was $50,000 maximum, and we applied for 44 something. So we really took advantage of this opportunity to improve our communications in our emergency response. That's about it for that.
Great. And 7B, receive update on the MDRA June storm application status.
Well, thank you for providing this. I think that was you, right? The funding application has been submitted. We've is it okay to share the numbers? Yep. So we've our claim is $429,167.50, and that includes labor, operating cost, equipment, rentals, contracts. So it's an all-in cost that we're over and above our regular expenditures to operate the municipality. So it was overtime, it was additional hours on the equipment and so on, which we had to prove and still have to prove in great detail to be submitted. So this is the submission, and there'll be a series of follow-ups on it. But the good news is we got it in. We think it's pretty complete in our estimation. We provided everything they asked for. We followed the manual diligently, and hopefully they won't have a million questions, maybe 400,000 or 500,000.
And then 7C, receive update on the lake sector meeting provided by the CEMC.
I'm the one of the sector reps for lake sector, and this meeting was the meetings keep getting better and better and better, not because I'm a sector rep, but because we've engaged people and you know, we put out a request for a topic where we're getting lots of information and lots of people wanting to present, which is it's an improvement over the past.
Maybe you could describe what the lake sector is.
Okay, the lake sector is the province is divided up into sectors. So the lake sector is a geographic area in the middle of Ontario. It's basically central Ontario. They have the northern sector, they have the southern sector, they have southwestern sector. I'll get the names wrong, but this is the geographic area of all the municipalities and First Nations communities that are in that geographic bubble. And what it provides us is a networking opportunity to share information, get together, ask questions, and learn from each other. So we typically talk about, you know, the what our experiences are, what's bugging us, what's going well, what's not going well. This meeting, we were able to get presentations from the Gravenhurst Fire Department on their response to that snowstorm last fall, and some interesting learnings. You know, I'll just share a little bit about the presentation. Everybody thinks, well, we've had snowfalls before, we've had snowstorms before, but what made this one different and nobody anticipated is it was in November. Nobody was ready for winter. Nobody had their equipment out. Nobody was snow plowing. None of the snow plows were ready to go. So it really spoke to preparation and anticipation. So just things like that are great learnings and great food for thought. They engaged an army, the Salvation Army, Red Cross, Ontario Corps, And there's a ton of resources out there that are not readily obvious, but a call to the PIOC and our sectors rep. And we've got a ton of help out there when we need it, when and if we need it. So and it's not something that you think of, and it's not something you necessarily have to put in an emergency plan. You have one contact number and they have all the resources. The Ontario Corps has equipment in Timmins and other places that we can draw on, chainsaws, heavy equipment, just things that we wouldn't normally have in our backyard.
And it's all through the PO.
That's all through the PIOC. Yeah, it's all Emergency Management Ontario. So they're really equipping us.
And there's a rep from BMO on this lake sector. They come to your meetings.
Our sector rep, Diane Ploss, is instrumental in setting this up. She takes the lead in it. And yeah, this is an EMO meeting and we're the supporting cast.
And the Ontario Corps is a volunteer. I think they're trying to get volunteers and then train them up, right?
Correct.
And so it might actually be something that I don't, do you know what the Ontario Corps is now? So it's Emergency Management Ontario and they train up volunteers. You sign up for it. So I could go on the website and I can say, hey, I live in Bonfield. And if there is an emergency, so for example, when they opened up the reception center in Mattawa, I could be deployed there because I'm trained. I would fall into IMS, I would go. And so what they're trying to do is have this very sustainable and robust volunteer group that are in the area to respond to emergencies. So it might actually be something that the fire department wants to talk about.
Additionally, they provide equipment, which is something that we don't always have in abundance in an emergency, right? We have a couple chainsaws. Do we have enough?
Yeah.
And you have to equip volunteers, and that's what they do. So they're a total package service provision. Another topic that was presented to us was cybersecurity and what does cybersecurity have to do with emergency management? Well, they've had experiences, and the OPP did a great presentation on this, but people have hacked into water treatment plants and poisoned the system. And they've done this during events where the water was needed. And, so if you've got a place, like we all have wells and everything else, but North Bay, for example, if they poisoned the water supply to North Bay and North Bay lost their potable water, talk about an emergency, right? So it was really an eye opener in terms of how aware and how astute we need to remain and how what preparation looks like. So it's not just about responding to event or preparing for event. It's a technical world now, and that's another element, and we're going to enter into it. So we're going to have to be careful as well. Hydro One did a presentation about they pulled the curtain back a little bit, and they shared with us how they triage outages and how they perform and what their priorities and concerns are. And one of the things that they're actively pursuing now is more communications with stakeholders, more communications with first responders and agencies that are in it. So we're trying to get away from the 1-800 report your outage to the CMC would have a contact with deep within Hydro One to talk about their needs.
Hydro One would be on our contact list, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that number won't get you to the person that you really need to talk to in the event of emergency. Because they'll go through the system, it's got to trickle down like one of those marble things.
Yeah. They have like a priority restoration list.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And all that's still in place, but sometimes you need to talk to a live person, right? I need help with this. And the crew's over there, and can we otherwise they're obligated to follow their own procedures, right? And to deviate from that, there's got to be a good reason. And that's where the personal communication comes in those contacts. And, and all through this, we're realizing that relationships are better built prior to an emergency instead of during an emergency.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things they're trying to do as well. All in all, it was a very good meeting.
And then 7D, discuss the annual complaints.
Annual compliance season is here. The compliance process is becoming more stringent, more documented, more requirements for, just more requirements. We need to have our EIO trained. We can't have duplication of exercise. We can't have an elected representative holding certain positions and things like that, that were sort of accepted in the past, but now they're you know, and all for good reasons, right? They've had some horror stories in the past in some locations, but the compliance process is critical to learning and improving. It's about lessons learned. It's about demonstrating that we are doing what we say we have to do, and I can appreciate that. You know, just for an example, we did several things in terms of public education this year. We go to the trade shows and we show up. I post emergency information at the library, on the door of the library, on our bulletin boards. So it's about public education, public awareness, and our compliance process. It used to be a check. Did you do public education? Check yes. Now it's, did you do public education? Check yes, provide evidence. And I think that's just due diligence, and it's becoming more structured, and I think that's a good thing.
We got to use our actual event for our exercise, right?
And we did get to use our actual events for exercise, so that we normally would have to do a tabletop, and we had the best tabletop in the
You
world.
did. And you did a debrief as well.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and we did lessons learned,
Yeah.
and I participated in the Calvin lessons learned exercise too, which I think just sort of a sidebar on that is the regional sharing of information and cooperation and working together regionally, I think is something of an opportunity for us going forward.
Well, thanks on the work that you've done with us for past couple of years, getting everything caught up and everything on the go has been very valuable. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
7E, fire chief updates. So number one, full training plan for the volunteer firefighters with the training officer and what's required in 2026. I think Ben's on the line now too, right? And he's our training officer. I don't know if there's anybody that can speak to anything for this. I know with Sean not here, you just wanted to still go through this, right?
And then muted.
Hi, Ben.
Hello, I am on the line. I can speak to it briefly. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so there is a training plan in place right now. Coming in the new year, in addition to the existing training plan, there will be a new recruit training plan. But as it stands right now, we are training recruits. So it is kind of the training plan we're going off. We're using the Ontario Fire College JPRs, they're called, so job performance requirements. Those are the sign-offs that they require to achieve their Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2 certifications. So we're working towards that with our regular training nights, and we've also been able to do some intro to technical rescue training. We've done an intro to ice water rescue for the group, and also we've got some auto extrication training in the works. Hope to get that done before the weather turns. We just need to find a weekend when everyone's available. It's definitely a challenge trying to schedule everybody around their own family life and their full-time jobs and stuff like that. So, but we're making it work. And I've talked with the chief, and we're working towards having a full training schedule published in the near future.
Great, thanks, Ben. New report style to share more detailed updates for committee and council meetings. Would that be our CAO reporting on that today?
Didn't speak to that.
Sure.
It's just a new report. So there's a monthly report that comes to this committee, then that report also goes to council. So it's just a matter of reformatting that to capture the best information, to really highlight all of the work that the fire department does from month to month.
And you're working with Sean on that?
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. And then first budget work plan for 2026 for a meeting on November 3rd. So I think you guys have been starting to work on your budget, and I believe that's more. Again, the fire chief and yourself meeting on November 3rd, right? So we just know that that's coming up.
November 3rd, we're having a budget review for 2026. It's to go over the work plan and the budget, the wish list. Kind of prioritize for all the departments.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would be.
And then asset management, or not asset inventory, sorry, detailed of the fire department. So I believe you guys were working on that as well. And I think you need that in order for that meeting, right? To
Yes.
prioritize
Yes,
purchases.
Is that the deadline is November 3rd for the asset management?
a list of inventory, yes,
Oh.
yes. Yeah, we're looking from our citywide, which has a number of all of our assets, our major assets in there. We have a few for the fire department, but there's a number of the smaller assets that we haven't accounted for, that we need to get in there so that we can really prioritize what needs to be replaced. So that we're not just making decisions. We know the FCPA needs to be done. That should, if there's a grant that comes out next year, hopefully it can be done in 26, but 27. So we just need to map that out and what that looks like.
And then number 5, HR onboarding plan.
Yes, so this is a simple checklist of when we have new recruits, because we have gotten quite a few new recruits. So we're just formalizing a checklist to say, here's all the steps that they do, here's all the policies that they've read that they need to read, so that we can make sure that they're onboarded.
And you're creating that.
Yes, the fire chief and I are working on that.
Is that gonna fall under training, or is the chief responsible for that?
I think that'll be a chief,
Okay.
because it's more about, here's our workplace harassment policy, here's our social media policy, here's like all the SOPs.
Of the admin stuff,
The admin,
okay.
Just to make sure we don't miss anything.
yes.
Mhm.
All right, no resolutions to be considered. And no correspondence. Oh, one correspondence, sorry, letter of promulgation from the OPP.
Yeah.
You're up.
Well, I'll just say that this is the second one that we've gotten, and they keep coming, so we're very proud of our volunteers. And again, it's for exceptional courage, teamwork, and professionalism during severe weather response for the St. Louis Champlain and Cayos Provincial Park incidents. So, and it was from the Ontario Provincial Police, the incident commander, who was Inspector William McMullen. So that was a job well done. We showed up,
All right, no closed session. So we're at 11, adjournment. Need a mover and seconder. By Alan. By Matt. Let the meeting be adjourned at 6:24 PM. All in favor? Carried.
Thanks, Ben.
Anytime. Happy to be here.